The following scientific fact has been brought to you by Team Rocket. This looks like a job for science. Take a look at these words. Friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend. All these words have the word end in them. Coincidence? Well, you could worry no more because Cradily the Pokémon has a ILY at the end of it, which means I love you, and you could buy this from the Team Rocket headquarters for only 1 million Pokédollars. Come buy your Cradily today because everlasting friendship is priceless. Hello YouTube! This is Chriz Maniac bringing you folks another Pokemon XY by 5 battle. And this battle is an OU match versus Vegasane, or Vegasane, whatever. So looking at both of our teams, this battle could be anything other than an OU match because we only have a few OU Pokemon in each of our teams. For example, I only have Infernape, and Vegasane only has Goodra and Scizor, and I think Quagsire because I think it's OU this generation. But yeah, our teams are very unorthodox, they're really odd, and that makes for great battles because it's boring seeing the same 3 Pokemon every battle, like Rotom W, Aegislash, and Talonflame or something like that. Anyways, as my intro suggests, my MVP for this match is Cradily, and Cradily is pretty good in OU because Cradily it counters Rotom W if it has what's it called? Storm Drain, and it can take moves pretty well. It's a really good physical wall and special wall as well, and it has lots of support moves, especially Stealth Rock. So Cradily could do really well. But talking about Cradily doing well, it is not doing well right now versus Scrafty because Scrafty would absolutely annihilate a Cradily, especially with a Dragon Dance +1. I stay in the first turn because I know he can't really Drain Punch me. I mean, he could Drain Punch me, but he can't really take me out with a Drain Punch. And I'm expecting him to expect me to switch out so that I could get off a Toxic on him. And I'm hoping that this Scrafty doesn't have Shed Skin, because if it has Shed Skin and if I Toxic it, then my Toxic will be pretty useless. Anyways, I bring in my my Claydol on this Ice Punch from this Scrafty, and Claydol gets absolutely wrecked by an Ice Punch. And I'm just stacking off my Claydol at this point because it just had a lot of damage on it early on in the match, and Claydol, which is a wall, is not going to do well with only 1/3 of its HP left, especially with that Scrafty running around. Anyways, this Scrafty is slowly getting KO'd, and I see that has Moxie, which is great because now I can eventually stall this Scrafty out with Toxic, and now he's losing life to Life Orb as well, so I could get off Fake Out on this guy and eventually like stall him out, which is great. I have alleviated one of my problems right now. But here comes another problem, which is a Quagsire. And Quagsire could pretty much wall my Infernape because I only have Thunder Punch, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, and Fake Out. And I could only do well over the Close Combat, and even with the Close Combat, I would probably only do 1/3 of this Quagsire's HP because Quagsires are so damn bulky. Anyways, that Quagsire is giving me a signature look of mockery because it's just making fun of me right now. I can't really knock this thing out. And obviously this Quagsire is going to run away like a coward because it's scared of my Energy Ball. So it does just that, but my Cradily is now Toxic, and that really hampers my Cradyly's stalling abilities because Cradily is also another good staller in my team. That's Toxic and Recover, which is pretty nice. Anyways, in comes a Scizor, and Scizor would wreck a Cradily as well because most of its stab moves destroy it because I'm a Rock Grass type, and its stab moves are Bug and Steel, and Bullet Punch and U-Turn would destroy my Cradily as well. Anyways, Scizor is indeed Vegasane's Mega for his team, and he gets a Mega Scizor, and Mega Scizor is such a cool Pokemon. Anyways, he predicts my switch out with his Pursuit, but since I'm a physical wall, I can take a Pursuit pretty nicely, even though he nails it right on my Cradily. Anyways, I Mega Evolve into my Mega Blastoise, and Blastoise could take any sort of move from this Mega Scizor and retaliate back with a hard-hitting Mega Launcher boosted attack. So I go for that Dark Pulse, just dealing a lot of damage to Scizor, hopefully like knock it out before it gets off a Swords Dance or a Roost or something. And I got off a Flinch right here, which is a pretty lucky attack by me, a 20% chance of Flinch, and I get it. And he isn't able to do anything after that. So I keep going for Dark Pulses, and he brings in a Scrafty, just predicting me to do just that. And his Scrafty is running low in health, and this Scrafty is pretty much dead because he could Drain Punch me, yeah, sure, but I could knock him out with in the next turn with the Aura Sphere. And since my Blastoise is hard body baby, I could take that Drain Punch really well because Blastoise has pretty decent physical bulk. Anyways, I go for that Ice Beam and knock that Scrafty out. So down goes the Scrafty. And in comes Cole, which is his, what's it called? Galvantula. And Galvantula pretty much threatens me out with this Thunder or Volt Switch. So I switch out right here, I bring in True Furcho, my Cradily, and he goes for that Thunder right away. But I can take that nicely because I'm a Cradily, I can take that. Because of my Grass typing, I can take that Thunder quite comfortably. Anyways, I heal off all the damage he dealt to me with leftovers, which is pretty funny. And I'm expecting him to go for the Bug Buzz right now, so my plan is I'm gonna switch out to my Infernape. Hopefully he doesn't go for a Thunder once again, and he would Bug Buzz the Infernape, and I can resist that, and I can retaliate back with some sort of move, and essentially just force this Galvantula out. But instead, his Galvantula has Energy Ball, and I'm like, oh, Energy Ball. I guess that's the deal with Swampert or Quagsire if he chooses to if the opponent chooses to like switch in a Quagsire or Swampert to it, because those are common like counters to Galvantula. But in this case, that doesn't work for Vegasane because I could just bring in my Infernape. Anyways, in comes the Quagsire that walls my Infernape to oblivion, and I get out of there because I can't really do much. And I bring in Turfricho, my Cradily once again, and he goes for a Toxic, which is pretty good for me because my Cradily is already Toxic, and I essentially get a free switch in, and I can recover off all the damage that has been dealt to me earlier because this Quagsire can't really do much to me. It has Scald, but it can't touch me with Scald because my Cradily has the ability Storm Drain, and that allows me to take a Water-type move and boost my attack with it. And I'm also immune to Water-type moves, so he can't really do much to me. He's forced to switch out right here. And on his switch, I can go for that Recover, which gets all my delicious HP back from half HP to full HP, or almost full HP. And yeah, with the leftovers, that brings me to full HP, but with the Toxic, that brings me down too. But still, I have a healthy Cradily, and Cradily is going to continue its walling shenanigans on Vegasane's team. Anyways, he goes for double switch with his Goodra, and this is an excellent play by Vegasane because now I am tempted to go for the Toxic on his Goodra because Goodras are walls and it's nice Toxic walls. But in comes the Caesar, he's immune to poison type moves because he's a Steel type, and he gets a free switch into my Cradily, and he could go for that free Swords Dance on my switch if he wanted to. So I switch out right here. I can't really take a U-turn or a Bullet Punch from this guy. So I bring in Agni, my Infernape, and I named this guy, or rather girl, after the Indian god of fire, I believe? I'm not sure. I have to look it up in Wikipedia or something. Anyways, he didn't go for a Swords Dance, he just goes for an X-Scissor, and that, I guess that's an okay move because he knew that I had an Infernape running around, and Infernape would easily KO the Caesar if he chooses to stay in and boost up. And if he boosted up, he would have wasted a turn doing that because he would be obliged to stay in with the Caesar because he spent a turn boosting up, and I would just Flare Blitz the Caesar and destroy it. Anyways, I didn't go for the Flare Blitz the Caesar because I was predicting his Quagsire to come in. Anyways, his Caesar goes for a Bullet Punch, and I switched out right there because I was a -1 defense, and at -1 defense, it was iffy if I could survive another Bullet Punch from a Mega Caesar. Anyways, this Caesar is finally destroyed, and down goes Mega Caesar. In comes what? His, what's it called? X-Cloud. The X-Cloud would destroy my Blastoise and anything in my team if I choose to switch out, so I just stay with my Blastoise, sack it all, and down goes both for Megas for this team. I guess with Vegasane's team, his strategy is to set up Sticky Web with his Galvantula, then his X-Cloud, which is maybe Choice Specs or something, would just sweep the entire team with Boom Burst. But I guess I didn't allow that to happen yet because I didn't allow him to set up Sticky Web, or he did set up Sticky Web rather. Anyways, I bring in my Scarf Hydreigon, and Scarf Hydreigon would destroy anything that comes in with a Draco Meteor, but I missed my second Draco Meteor right here, and his Goodra goes for a Draco Meteor with its own, and takes out my Hydreigon, so that kind of sucks. That piece of hacks really bit me in the butt, because now I have a KO'd Hydreigon instead of Vegasane having a KO'd Goodra. And this Hydreigon is an answer to an X-Cloud because I am Scarfed, and I can outspeed that X-Cloud if he's Scarfed as well, and I can knock it out. But he switches out right here, and then comes, yeah, his Quagsire, and I can't really do much to Quagsire except for go for close combat. And my strategy here at this point is to keep weakening Vegasane's team and sweep with my Riiiiiigghhhhtt because I can go for that Trick Room and go for that Trick Room sweep with my Riiiiiigghhhtt and destroy everything. I just need everything to soften up first because I need my Riiiiiigghhhhtt to knock out everything in one shot or something. But I get a really lucky piece of hacks right here. I guess this makes up for my Draco Meteor miss earlier. And I get a crit close combat on that Quagsire and knock that Quagsire out. That is so beautiful, that piece of hacks, because Quagsires are so annoying. They wall like physical teams all day, every day. Not even physical teams, like every sort of Pokemon, because they are bulky in both sides of their defense, and they are not affected by boosts or of any sort. Anyways, in goes Galvantula, and at this point I know that he does have Bug Buzz because he didn't go for that Bug Buzz earlier, and he brings in his X-Cloud, and I could go for Energy Ball and X-Cloud if I wanted to. At this point, I am just doing my strategy of just weakening Vegasane's team slowly so that I could knock his whole team out with a Trick Room later on. Anyways, he goes for a Fire Blast. I guess that is his only move that he could hit me with, because a Fire Blast would hit my Cradily for neutral, and a Boom Burst wouldn't really do much to me because I resist that. Anyways, I keep getting poisoned right here, and at this point I'm just sacking off my Cradily, even though it's done very well for me in this battle. I thought it would get killed a long time ago because of the Galvantula having Bug Buzz, but it turns out that Galvantula doesn't have Bug Buzz. Anyways, I could go for that Recover right here, get my HP back to green health, which is pretty nice, and I can eat my leftovers, but I think that Poison, or Toxic rather, would bring me down to almost yellow health. Actually, never mind, I hardly had yellow health. Anyways, he gets up Sticky Orb right here, which is really good for me. I actually wanted Galvantula to set up Sticky Web, because now I can bring in my Cradily, I mean not my Cradily, but my Riiiiiigghhhhtt, and get a speed boost off, because under Trick Room, slower Pokemon would move faster, and with my Riiiiiigghhhtt even slower with a Sticky Web, my Riiiiiigghhhtt would be the fastest Pokemon in this entire game. Well, that's kind of weird to say that, because Riiiiiigghhhtt is slowest attack, base 30 speed, but under Trick Room, I can imagine Riiiiiigghhhtt just like teleporting everywhere, being an extremely fast Pokemon, and then throwing like a Psychic at you or a Shadow Ball or something. Anyways, my Cradily takes out that Galvantula, which is pretty hilarious, because you wouldn't expect a Cradily to take out a Galvantula. Actually, it is possible, but the Galvantula on paper would just outspeed a Cradily and destroy you with a Bug Buzz. But apparently it turns out that his Galvantula doesn't have Bug Buzz. Anyways, I could bring in my Spongerino, my Riiiiiigghhhhtt, and this is the nail in Vegasane's coffin, I'm hoping, because I could go for that Trick Room and annihilate everything on Vegasane's team. So he goes for a Draco Meteor, just trying to do as much damage as possible to my Riiiiiigghhhtt, and I survived that because my Riiiiiigghhhtt is really bulky. All Riiiiiigghhttts are extremely bulky actually, and I go for that Trick Room followed up with a Psyshock that's boosted up by Life Orb with max special attack and a Modest too, so not much is gonna live that. Especially a Gudra, and Gudra can't wall physical hit like that because most Gudras are special walls. Anyways, go for a Psyshock on his last Pokemon, which is his X-Cloud, and that wins me the match. If I did get a Trick Room up earlier, then I would have lost. Or if he brought in his X-Cloud and went for the Boom Burst, he could have potentially knocked me out because Boom Burst X-Cloud is nothing to mess with. Anyways, folks, that was a really fun and unconventional OU match versus Vegasane. I hope you enjoyed this battle. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'll see you folks next time!